We're joined today by Jacob Deysel, CEO of Critica Limited. Jacob, thanks for your time.
Nice to be here. Thanks, David.
Flagship and focus is clearly the Jupiter project in Western Australia. Can you tell us a little bit about it and why is it so exciting?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jupiter is the largest clay-hosted rare earth resource in Australia, but it's also the highest grade, and it's a clay-hosted base, so that's differentiates itself. But apart from that, apart from rare earths, there's also gallium, there's also yttrium, so it's a multi-metal, a critical metal platform, really.
And how does clay hosted differentiate you from other rare earth projects?
Yeah, so clay specifically, as I mentioned, we are pure clay hosted. And what that means is all of these critical elements that we're looking for are contained in specific minerals within the clay, which means that we can beneficiate upfront. So we use very benign processes, beneficiate upfront, reduce the mass very early on by 95%, concentrate all of these critical elements into about 4%, and that goes into our hydromet. So what that really translates into smaller footprint from the hydrometallurgical process, smaller, lower reagents, lower energy cost, and also potential lower capex and opex.
And you've also produced product through your pilot optimization. Can you talk to that and why does that metallurgical understanding help unlock the value here?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think if you develop a project, the risk pieces up front is understanding the geology and then matching that geology with the metallurgy. And being able to produce product means that you've de-risked that flow sheet, and that's what's so important for us. So we've produced two commercial grade mixed rare earth products, both a mixed rare earth carbonate at 58%. We've produced a mixed rare earth oxide at 86% RIU. So these are commercial grade, very low uranium and thorium, and very low impurities.
And you've engaged two world-class engineering firms to lead your scoping study and also resource development. Can you talk to the importance of having these firms in place?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's extremely important having credible firms to look after this. It's almost an independent validation of the project. So we engaged Setchman, which is a very well-known engineer in hydromet in this space, in the rare earth space. So they're looking after the scoping study for Jupiter. And then, of course, our resources being managed by SRK, which again, it's a world-renowned consultant in specifically resource and understanding resource classification.
You touched on gallium as a byproduct or a product coming through your flow sheet. Why is that mineral so important?
Well, gallium, again, like most of the critical minerals we're talking about, is the processing and supply is very concentrated. Gallium is 98% of gallium processing and supply comes from China. So the West is extremely exposed. Now, gallium is an important metal specifically in semiconductors, so it gets used in the new generation computer processors. So when you think about AI, you think about robotics, this is extremely important metal. And we've got a significant resource of that. We've got close to 70,000 tons of this material within the Jupiter resource.
And in the broader portfolio, you do have tin and tungsten in your Mount Lindesay project in Tasmania that is probably sitting one back at the moment in compared to your Jupiter project, but clearly will be getting some attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, Critica, we're building a critical metals platform, which really stretches across defense, semiconductors, and electrification when you talk about minerals. So it's one platform, multiple critical minerals, multiple demand drivers. And Mount Lindesay, yes, Jupiter is our flagship, but Mount Lindesay is still one of the largest undeveloped tin tungsten assets in Tasmania. So we recently appointed DRA, very excited again, a very competent firm in this space to look at the scoping study for us for Mount Lindesay.
What are some of the milestones investors should focus on from Critica over the next 12 months?
Yeah, look, we've got exciting news flow coming and catalysts. For us, we continue to optimize the metallurgical processes, so that de-risking of Jupiter is continuing. But certainly the scoping study that's being undertaken by Setchman is one of the key catalysts coming. We're also producing sample now for offtake discussions. So that's the exciting piece for us. So there's a lot of those conversations in the background happening, and we'll tell the market a bit more about that. And then, of course, Mount Lindsay, we've engaged CRI, so they are looking after the scoping study. So that's another piece to keep an eye on.
A busy year ahead for Critica. Exciting times ahead. Jacob, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, Dave. Appreciate it.